Good afternoon. I'm Shania, and this is One News Now. President Duterte castigated the Commission on Audit for flagging the spending deficiencies of some agencies. Let's follow up on this issue with Maricel Halili, who joins us live from Mandaluyong City. Hi, good afternoon. Did Presidential Spokesman Harry Roque expound on this matter about the COA, and what exactly does the President want to happen?
Hi, Sean. During his press briefing early, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque clarified that President Duterte did not threaten the Commission on Audit. During his talk to the people last night, Secretary Roque said that the president was simply expressing his frustration over the COA report. He is actually disappointed with the process of COA. Secretary Roque said that the president feels that the proper steps should be COA must wait first for the completion of the documents they are asking from the Department of Health before publishing the report. What happened, according to Secretary Roque, is that COA is just asking for a copy of a memorandum of agreement from the DOH to explain its procurement of several equipment and the spending on COVID response. But the thing is, prior to the submission of the DOH, COA has already published a report. Because of this, the public thinks that DOH is involved in an anomalous activity, or they're actually doubting the credibility of the DOH. So Secretary Roque said that the president only wants COA to wait for the completion of documents before publishing their report.
All right, on the matter of Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, we have senators and critics still calling for his resignation. What did the palace have to say about this? Are they taking the same stand fully in support of the health chief?
Well, Malacanang is consistent with their statement when it comes to Health Secretary Francisco Duque. Last night, President Duterte said that he still trusts Secretary Duque, and there is no reason for him to resign from the Department of Health because he did nothing, or he didn't do anything wrong. This was also the statement of Secretary Roque during his press briefing earlier. He said that President Duterte, or Secretary Duque, still enjoys the trust and confidence of President Duterte, so there's no reason for him to resign.
Right, and we have been in ECQ for about a week and a half. How many COVID-19 vaccines have been administered so far across the country? Did we see a jump in the in the vaccination drive rate? And any other updates on COVID-19 vaccines? Do we have more supply coming in?
So far, Sean, based on the report of the Department of Health and Malacanang earlier, they said that more than 28 million doses of vaccines have already been administered all over the country. Their target is to inoculate at least 50% of the total population of the National Capital Region before the end of this month. Yes, they are expecting more steady supply of vaccines within the month, considering the promises coming from the COVAX facility and the Chinese government. So they are hoping that the inoculation drive, or the vaccination program of the government, will still continue.
And what is the health department's latest position on the vaccination of children or minors amid the threat of these new variants?
Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere of the Department of Health said that the recommendation of the medical experts, as well as their agency, is to not inoculate children for now. The number one reason is the equity. Since we have limited supply of vaccines, the government has to prioritize those who are more vulnerable when it comes to virus, and these are the people with comorbidities and, of course, the senior citizen. They still have to talk when it comes to the schedule of giving jobs to children, and we still have to wait for updates.
All right, I'll wait for an update alongside you. Now, we are almost at August 22, when we are expected to end this 2-week ECQ period. But Masa, can we expect anything new in terms of our quarantine classification update? Will there be any additional, maybe economic considerations this time around?
Well, Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez said that the economic team or the economic sector is pushing for the de-escalation of the quarantine classification, particularly in Metro Manila, because a lot of people have already lost their jobs. So instead of extending the enhanced community quarantine, they want to impose modified ECQ after August 20. But of course, this is still subject for discussion. The members of the IATF will be having a meeting, if not today, probably tomorrow. But Secretary Roque said yesterday that probably they can finalize the quarantine classification tomorrow. So Palace will be making an announcement.
All right, so we'll expect that announcement from the palace tomorrow, Maset. But on a completely other matter, this time humanitarian, of course, no one is, buffered from the news coming out of Afghanistan, out of Kabul. Is the Philippines willing to accept asylum seekers from the war-torn Central Asian country?
Secretary Roque gave the assurance that yes, the government will welcome those who needs to escape the chaos in Afghanistan. At the same time, they have reiterated their call to the Filipinos in Afghanistan to coordinate with the Embassy of the Philippines there to make sure that they will be repatriated. For now, the Foreign Affairs Department has already raised the alert level in Afghanistan to alert level 4, meaning there should be a mandatory evacuation or repatriation of all Filipinos in Afghanistan.
Thank you so much for all those updates. Maricel Halili reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Thanks, Mase. And the Taliban forces have already announced general amnesty for government officials in Afghanistan. AFP reports that workers under the previous leadership are now urged to go back to their, quote, routine life with full confidence. This pronouncement comes only 2 days after the militant group swiftly took over all major cities in the country, including the capital, Kabul. We'll be back with more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Some hospitals in Quezon City are now overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients as active infections in QC continue to rise. We have Marlene Alcaide on the ground to tell us more. Marlene, how are the hospitals in QC coping with this surge in COVID-19 cases?
Sean, COVID-19 patients continue to arrive here at the Quezon City General Hospital as infections continue to rise in the city. Mild COVID-19 patients undergo X-ray and checkup before being brought to a quarantine facility in their barangays. Only critical and severe cases are being admitted in hospitals. Volunteers say that most of the hospitals in the city can no longer accept COVID patients. Those who fail to make the cut have no choice but to count on portable oxygen tanks. Based on latest data from the Epidemiology and Disease Surveillance Unit, Quezon City has over 7,500 active cases. The QCLGU has vowed to send food packs and essential kits to residents, especially those in areas under special concern lockdown. Sean, QC's vaccination program continues despite the uptick in COVID cases. As of today, over 2 million Quezon City residents have been inoculated with either one or complete doses. Sean?
Thank you, and stay safe out there in Quezon City. Marlene Alcaide of News 5 reporting to us live. In other news, Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III has tested positive for COVID-19. In a statement, the cabinet official said he is asymptomatic and is currently under quarantine in Ilagan City. Prior to getting COVID, Bello had been receiving guests in his office and traveling to various parts of the country for work affairs. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Bureau of Internal Revenue, or BIR, has called on social media influencers to pay their taxes. This comes after the BIR received reports of vloggers who do not settle their duties despite huge earnings from various social media platforms. The Bureau said there are some influencers who are unregistered with the BIR or registered under different tax types but not declaring their social media earnings. U.S. President Joe Biden has defended his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Biden said that American troops could not defend a nation whose leaders have already given up. He also warned the Taliban leaders that they would face devastating force if they interfere with the U.S. pullout. And in sports, spectators will not be allowed during the Tokyo Paralympics as Japan battles record-high COVID-19 infections. The Paralympics, which will open on August 24, will follow similar COVID-19 protocols implemented during the Summer Olympics. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.